A man kneels in silence. His army is defeated. His enemies surround him. And yet, he does not beg for mercy. Instead, he reaches for his blade. Because for the samurai of feudal Japan, there were fates far worse than death. This is the story of the warriors who lived by honor and died by it. For nearly 700 years, the samurai stood at the center of Japanese history. Emerging around the 10th century, they began as elite warriors serving powerful nobles. But over time, they became something more, a military class that would dominate Japan for centuries. Their name came from the Japanese word saburao, to serve. But make no mistake, these men were not servants. They were masters of war. Armed with bows, spears, and eventually the legendary katana, the samurai fought in brutal conflicts that shaped the destiny of Japan. Yet what truly separated them from other warriors was not their weapons. It was their code, a philosophy known as Bushido. The way of the warrior. Bushido demanded absolute loyalty, courage in the face of death, self-discipline, honesty, compassion, and above all, honor. A samurai's reputation was worth more than his life. To lose honor was to lose everything. That belief was so powerful that some samurai chose ritual suicide, known as seppuku, rather than live with shame. To modern eyes, it seems unimaginable, but in their world, death could be preferable to dishonor. The rise of the samurai reached its peak during Japan's age of constant warfare. The 15th and 16th centuries became known as the Sengoku period, the age of warring states. Powerful warlords battled endlessly for control. Entire provinces burned, castles rose and fell, and amid the chaos emerged some of the greatest warriors in history. One of them was Miyamoto Musashi. Born in 1584, Musashi became the most famous swordsman Japan had ever seen. According to legend, he fought more than 60 duels and never lost a single one. In one famous encounter, he arrived late to a duel against rival swordsman Sasaki Kojiro. His opponent waited for hours, enraged, humiliated. When Musashi finally appeared, he carried not a steel sword, but a wooden weapon carved from an oar during his boat journey. Moments later, Kojiro was dead. Musashi had won again. But his greatest victory may not have been on the battlefield. Near the end of his life, he wrote the Book of Five Rings, a timeless work on strategy, discipline, and mastery that is still studied around the world today. Another legendary figure was Oda Nobunaga. In 1560, Nobunaga faced an enemy force several times larger than his own. Most commanders would have retreated. Nobunaga attacked. Using surprise and daring tactics at the Battle of Okehazama, he achieved one of the most shocking victories in Japanese history. His triumph changed the course of the nation and began the process of unifying Japan. But perhaps the most emotional samurai story is that of the 47 Ronin incident. A Ronin was a samurai without a master, often disgraced, often forgotten. Yet in 1701, 47 of these warriors made a decision that would become legend. Their lord had been forced to take his own life after a political conflict. The Ronin waited, not days, not weeks, but nearly 2 years, patiently, silently. Then they struck. They avenged their master exactly as Bushido demanded, knowing full well it would cost them their lives. Japan was captivated. Even today, their story remains one of the most powerful examples of loyalty ever recorded. Yet no warrior age lasts forever. In 1603, the Tokugawa shogunate established peace across Japan. For more than 250 years, major wars faded. Many samurai became administrators, scholars, and officials. The sword remained at their side, but the battlefield disappeared. Then came the 19th century. Modern weapons, industrial technology, a changing world. In 1876, Japan officially banned the public carrying of swords. The age of the samurai was over. An institution that had defined Japan for centuries vanished almost overnight. Jim. But perhaps the samurai never truly disappeared. Because Bushido was never just about combat. It was about character. About standing firm when fear says run. About keeping your word when breaking it would be easier. About serving a purpose greater than yourself. The armor has rusted. The castles have become museums, and the battlefields have fallen silent. Yet the questions the samurai faced remain the same ones we face today. What do we stand for? What principles guide us when no one is watching? And what would we be willing to sacrifice to remain true to them? The samurai answered those questions with their lives. The question is, how will we answer them with ours?